Hey guys, it's Pre, aka that Pokemon boy, and I am back on my channel. Gonna be uploading regularly now, and while I was gone for about 7 or 8 months, really, I created a league similar to the GBA, called the Interregional Elite Poke Cup, or the IEP. And effectively, it's a draft-based Pokemon league. For those of you who aren't familiar with the GBA, the now defunct GBA, I should say, where basically you have a certain number of teams and each team drafts Pokemon, and that Pokemon is exclusive to that team. So, for example, I draft Talonflame. That means no one else can use Talonflame. We're actually about 5 weeks into the season now. 8 teams, 2 conferences, 4 in each. So we're halfway, so everyone should really have played everyone by now. But the point is, we play twice a week, so from now on I'll be showcasing to you guys the battles I've had the previous weeks. So in the next few days, expect 4 or 5 videos coming out for each week that I have already battled with. Anyway, going on to the video. The first battle is my team, the Mauville Magnetons, versus the Blackthorn Rage. Basically, each coach was allowed to name their team, where the format we used was basically a town or city within the game, followed by an ability, a move, or a Pokemon. Hence the name, Mauville Magnetons. I decided to bring Latias, Azumarill, Hippowdon, Talonflame, Rotom Heat, and Tentacle. So, to start things off, we both led with Sandstream and traded rocks. There's mine. He reveals the Mega T-Tar, goes for the Ice Punch, whilst I just hit a straight up Earthquake. Because he had a couple of things that could avoid the Earthquake, I decided instead to slack off, because I knew I could take at least one more Ice Punch fairly easily. In comes Tentacle, and he goes for the Super Fang. Now here, this is actually a pretty decisive moment in the battle. I say that because I've got 2 options with Tentacle. I can either spin away my rocks to let Rotom Heat and Talonflame not really take a lot of damage coming in, or I could put T-Spikes to apply pressure on his side, because I don't really notice anything to get rid of hazards on his side of the field. I was pretty sure I could only do one, because judging by the Super Fang, there's 2 possibilities. Either he's physically offensive with an Assault Vest. Either he's physically offensive, in which case he'll have Wild Charge, Knock Off, something to basically hit my Tentacle, or he's just Assault Vest, 3 special attacks with Super Fang, which is also a set, which would basically mean he'd be able to Volt Switch. Not wanting to risk going into Hippowdon and him predicting that and making a different move, I decided to just stay in. So I went for the T-Spikes, knocks off. Problem now obviously that I do have is means Talonflame, when it comes in, like it just does there, it's taking 50%, so I'm not really going to get a lot done out of Talonflame this game. But I U-turn out, go into Hippowdon, his Electros knocks off my item, which was Lefties. He Super Fangs there, by Stone Edge. He U-turns out as I decide to slack off here, and I was unsure what this Jirachi would do, so I decided to go into Rotom Heat, who had an Assault Vest. He Doom Desire, my Rotom Heat wasn't Assault Vest, it's Choice Scarf, Trick, Rotom Heat, and that's why I went in against Jirachi, because I knew that I could outspeed it as long as it wasn't Choice Scarf Rachi. So I thought that was the best play, because I could take most of anything that he really would want to hit me with, if that makes sense. So he switches back into his Mega T-Tar. That's a problem for me, because although I get the poison, I went for Trick, which basically means I'm locked into giving him a Scarf, and he's Mega Stone. I go back into Hippowdon. He goes for the Stone Edge. The crit doesn't really make a difference. Doomsday hits, kills me. I should have stayed in with the Rotom there, even if Stonehenge would have killed me anyways. But I Thunderbolt, get rid of the T-Tar. In comes Jirachi, and I send another Thunderbolt. It's about a 3-hit KO, So I decide to just stick with it and sack Rotom Heat. He gets on the Moonblast. I'm thinking he thought I would switch into Latias. He sacks Electros in on the rocks, which means Thunderbolt won't hit, but Doom Desire takes me out anyways. He comes back in with the Orochi, takes rocks. My Azumarill takes rocks. I Aqua Jet and kill the Jirachi as Lapras comes in. I decided to go into Talonflame here just to see what he would do. He went for the Freeze Dry, which basically now it means that whatever comes in here, it's going to do a lot to either one of my Pokemon. Azumarill's Assault Vest, and it's a Mega Latias. He's hurt by the poison. I bring in Latias because I felt as if I could take it better, so I Mega Evolve. And this is probably where the game changes, because he protects, and I had the Calm Mind, and I went for the Calm Mind because I thought I could take one Freeze Dry. Because I did that, that meant I could Thunderbolt and kill his Lapras. The Moltres would come in, take half. It wasn't Scarf because I could Thunderbolt that and take it out as well. And that leaves Shuckle, who comes in, takes the poison, drop a Draco. Yeah, got a crit at the end, which probably made a bit of a difference. But even then, I had a Azumarill sitting in the back. So that was the first game of the league for me. For anyone, in fact, that was the first game. That meant we went 1-0, and because we play twice a week in this league, I'll also show you the other battle I had. This was against the Pastoria Pure Power, who are run by Amir. He's the coach. I should have actually mentioned Zario, who helps out a lot with the administrative side of the league, is the coach for the Blackthorn Rage. Yeah, so I lead off with Tentacle, he leads with Cloyster. He goes for the Rock Blast and does about 35% on me, which is fine because I just want to get T-Spikes onto the field. He Rapid Spins away. I go for another layer because I wasn't unsure. I wasn't sure exactly what he was going to do. He goes for a Rock Blast now, probably thinking I would predict his Rapid Spin. But I go into Gerda. He goes into Landorus. I thought he'd go into Meloetta, so I went for a knockoff instead. Could have gone for the Ice Punch straight, and it would have done, well, would have been okay. But it meant I could get an Ice Punch off. If I Light meant that I could live the Psychic. Comes in with Cloyster. I go in Tentacle. He Rapid Spins, predicting the switch. That was a good play on his part. Another good play on his part. He explodes, kills my Tentacle, means that I don't have any Toxic Spikes left on the field, but it also means that Hippowdon can come in and safely set rocks up because he's no longer got his spinner. He brings in the Scrafty, fakes out, knocks off, gets rid of the lefties, but like I said, rocks are now on my side of the field, on his side of the field. Drain Punch brings his Scrafty back. I roar out into Diancie, and I go to Superior because I was not expecting him to Diamond Storm at all. And this is where the Sandstorm didn't work in my favour, because Leaf Storm just failing to kill. He kills me with a HP Fire. If I wasn't in Sand, if I'd done that a turn later, I would have been okay. I U-turn out with Talonflame, because I know I could kill it and outspeed it. I go into Gerda as he brings in the Scrafty, who gets an Intimidate off. Come in with Hippowdon, because he's no longer got the Rock type. I am safe to get Sandstorm up. He comes in with Cure and Beat after faking out earlier. I slack off. Here I go into Talonflame thinking he'd Ice Beam, and he outrages, which kills the Talonflame. Regardless of the crit, that would have killed either way. But he's locked into Outrage as I get safe Earthquake off. He's confused here. Hurts himself in confusion. I went for a slack off thinking he'd switch, which he does later. That's okay for me because he's at 6%. I knew that. Hang on, I'm going to pause it here. Because he's at 6%, I knew that if he switched Cure him out, whenever he switched it back in, it'd die with rocks. That's why I went for the Earthquake, because it was just the best play to make. I crit him here with the Earthquake on the Meloetta switching, which is pretty huge, to be honest, because it means that after the Hyper Voice hits, I can then hit back with an Earthquake and kill his Meloetta. As he brings in his Scrafty, gets an Intimidate off, fakes me out. I'm fine with that. again, Drain Punch and Pattern emerges. But yeah, that's it pretty much. What's going on for now? You know, neither of us really needs to switch in. But I roar out to kill the Curum, which basically means he's out of Intimidates for the Gerda in case I need Gerda to come in. But I go in for the Latias on the Fake Out. And Mega Evolve, get a couple of Carmines off. I know he's going to knock off, but I know he'd do just under half, which is what he does. It does about 42 the first time. I recover back up. It does 44 this time. I can't mind knowing that I can take another knockoff, which is what I do there. Then I drop a Draco and win. So yeah, 2 very good games. Thanks to that. Thank you for that to Amir and Zario. Brilliant opponents to have in the first week. It really set the tone for the rest of the season for everyone because it upped everyone's game. You know, straight away you look at a good caliber of battles and you're thinking, yeah, I have to be on point if I want to win this league, or even if I just want to go far. But yeah, that's what happened the first week. I don't know when I'll be uploading this, but at the time of recording, it's currently Tuesday the 3rd. So by Saturday or Friday of the same week, I should have all 5 weeks uploaded. So if you do like the idea of this league, check back to see more videos. Also leave a like or a comment if you liked it, maybe even subscribe. We should have a channel out for the league in a month or so, and there will be a description video coming in the next couple of weeks as well, kind of entailing more about how the league is laid out, how we draft, and just the general rules. But yeah, for now, that's it, guys.